What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Blitzle evolution team. Super Bowser, this one is for you. So tonight I'll be using Blitzle and Zebstrika. I'll be using 2 of each Pokemon. So these have the abilities Lightning Rod, Motor Drive, and Sap Sipper. So they're not bad abilities. This Pokemon, I reckon, needs a big buff of some sort. It either needs like a Mega, or it needs some sort of stat boost. I'm thinking how I would improve this. How would you improve Zebstrika as a Pokemon in terms of, a little bit more, powerful? Let me know in the comment section. All right, first battle here, we have got a random battle, and this one is on the Poke Portal, and I'm not really sure what my opponent's name is here. This is also a no restrictions battle as well. They had one level 80 and the rest were level 100. They had a really competitive team too, so I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. So my team only comprised of 4 Pokemon, and obviously they had that same weakness being ground, which was quite difficult with this team, because it's not like you could swap into another one. So I had to kind of make my sets to counter that. So I've got this Blitzle, which is like a more of like an Endeavor set, but against this Goodra, I thought I'd swap in my Zebstrika. I do like how Zebstrika goes yellow, where the electricity like flows through its body when it uses Charge Beam or the electric moves. Looks really cool. So this is really funny, right? Because I had this Goodra and they got paralyzed. I reckon they got paralyzed 3 or 4 times in a row there, and I had this Zebstrika trying to boost its special attack up. Then I started missing a couple of charge beams here, because I was actually trying to get a Zebstrika sweep before. I believe I've got one a long time ago, but that's it. Maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. So I was trying to get a new one, right? So they got paralyzed a lot of turns in a row here. They were getting very unlucky, which was good because I was doing like no damage at all. So I was starting to get a couple of special attack boosts here. Some of them didn't work. I had an Assault Vest on this set too. Let me give it to what it was. So we got Thunderbolt, Terra Blast, Water, Charge Beam, and Overheat with Lightning Rod. I felt that worked pretty nicely for a special set, because I was like Terra Water, and then someone would try and use a electric move, and that would activate Lightning Rod. This one is going to be max special attack and max speed, timid nature. So Goodra is down, which is going to be good. Does anyone like Zebstrika? Is it their favorite Pokemon of all time? Let me know. Is there anyone out there that exists? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Like, just tell me your thoughts on Zebstrika anyway. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think could be changed? What abilities would you give it to make it better or to change it? I'd like to hear that. It'd be good if it got like a more wide variety of moves too, I think. So anyway, we've got a Shadow Rider, and of course they're going to have Terra Ground. So I was like, there's no way I could have known that was going to happen. So they're going to dodge that and go for a Terra Blast Ground here, which of course is super effective against my entire team. So I'm like, oh great. So that's the end of Zebstrika. It is pretty fast Pokemon, though. It's got a good speed stat. That's its best stat for sure. All right, so I thought, well, they've got a special attack boost. I got to get rid of this like now. I can't swap in any of the Pokemon. So I got Blitzle. This is a Endeavor and Quick Attack set. So I thought, oh, now they're not a Ghost type, I'll be able to go for Endeavor and then for a Quick Attack. So this will be awesome. So they're going to go, hit the A button there, and we're going to go for Endeavor this turn. We got that Quick Attack combination, which is really nice. So I know they're probably not going to expect this either. So I went for the Quick Attack, and I took out the Shadow Rider, which is absolutely awesome. So I've still got a chance here, but after all those paralysis and a Blitzle KOing the Shadow Rider, man, they were absolutely fuming. That switch got thrown out the window, snapped like a Kit Kat, and they were mega salty. I guess they just, something inside them just snapped after losing to Blitzle. The Blitzle. All right, let's get on to battle number 2 here. All right, if you enjoyed the first salty battle, make sure you hit the, let's get some likes, people. Let's hit that like button. Let's get 1,000 likes today. All right, so we've got another random battle here, and I can't even see the Pokemon on the other side of the field. I think it might be Dialga's cousin. So I've got the Focus Sash Blitzle as the lead here, and I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave. Now, the EVs on these Blitzles, they were kind of interesting because with Endeavor and Quick Attack, generally it's better if you go second because obviously, you go for Endeavor first, well, it's not going to put you on them on 1 health. So this was max attack and max special attack on both of these Blitzles. So I gave them no speed at all. And they were hindering in speed too with Brave, Nature, and they had pretty low IVs and speed too. So anyway, I got rid of the Dialga, which is a good start to the battle. And we got the next Pokemon here, which is going to be Terrapagus. So I thought, this is kind of slow, so maybe even with low IVs and a hindering nature, I can outspeed it. That'd be great. And I thought, well, just in case I can't, I'll go for the Flame Charge there. I'll do that. So I'm going to go for Flame Charge. I do get outsped, which I did expect for that to happen. I'm going to get a Special Defense drop there, which virtually changes anything. Nothing at all. Terra Shell is going to be activated too, so I broke that. But also, if you do go Endeavor on Terrapagus, it'll bypass that ability and everything and still put them on 1 health if you were curious. But then they outsped me with a Water Pulse. I'm like, they've got like a max speed Terrapagus, so this is bad. I got to get rid of this. But then I had a thought. I'm like, maybe I can try and use my Terra here. Maybe they'll have an electric move. I might be able to get a special attack boost or something like that. I know they're going to go for Earth Power, so I need to go for a Terra here. Plus, I've already lost half my team as well. So we got that Terra Water Zebstrika, which is pretty good on both of the sets, a physical and special one as well. Both work pretty well. So I went for Charge Beam, and of course I didn't get a boost there, which sucks. The Assault Vest is allowing me to live the moves a little bit better too. Then they swapped out, which I thought they may try and even go for a their own Terra there. But then they went into Ogerpon Cornerstone. So I'm going to be breaking it sturdy, and I've got a special attack rise. I'm like, ooh, this is good. Maybe I should go for Terra Blast here. Now, I had a feeling, I was like, maybe they'll go for a grass move here, but maybe they won't. I was like, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to waste my Zebstrika. I've only got 1 remaining after this, so I'll swap into my physical set, and if they do go for a grass move, I'll get a Sap Sipper boost, right? It was actually pretty good synergy with a Lightning Rod and Sap Sipper user. So they're going to go for their Ogerpon, obviously, and this Zebstrika set, is completely physical, right? So the funny thing is, they actually went for a Grass Knot, and that, well, I mean, it was still a grass move, so that activated my Sap Sipper, but I didn't expect Grass Knot, I'll be honest with you. So I've got Supercell Slam, High Horsepower, Trail Blaze, and Terra Blast Water. Then they swapped Ogerpon out, and they went into the Terrapagus again. So I'm like, this is actually good because I need some damage on this thing. It's quite bulky, right? I've got High Horsepower, I've got Supercell Slam. I mean, this is actually a buff for Zebstrika learning Supercell Slam because it had Wild Charge as its best physical move before, but still, it's not as... there still is a risk involved in it missing and stuff like that. So now they're going to bring in the Kyogre. I was like, well, they've already terrored, so they can't... what are they going to do? What's happening? Are they going to Scarf? But, Zebstrika outspeeds it and drops him with 1 Supercell Slam, so that was awesome. I got rid of that. Next Pokemon is going to be Skeledirge. I'm like, all right, well, they can't use... Well, they could use a fire move, but it's going to be powered down. I expect them to use like a ghost move or something. So I went for High Horsepower. Good damage there. Very good damage. They had Rocky Helmet as the item too. The item that I've got on this Zebstrika is actually a Lychee Berry. So, of course, I got critical hitted there. Who would have guessed? And that activated my berry. So that was actually... very good. So I've got that High Horsepower. I'm ready to go here, but it's probably got Unaware, so like that's probably not going to matter at all. And of course, Zebstrika lives on 1 health, and Rocky Helmet is going to feint me. So I would have loved to have feigned that, but it is what it is, right? So I've got 1 more Zebra left. One more to go. I think this is the only Zebra Pokemon. Is this the only Zebra Pokemon? Am I being dumb and not thinking of one? I think this is the only Zebra Pokemon out there. We need some more Zebras. Anyway, we're going to bring in Zebstrika and go for a Charge Beam. Of course, they get a lucky miss there, and they're going to go for Shadow Ball. Now, the reason I did that is because I needed the boost in special attack, because this thing's special attack, it really isn't that great. So I went for a charge beam again because I absolutely had to, and then I didn't get a boost. I'm like, oh, come on. That's really bad luck. Charge beam should be 100% chance to boost, in my opinion. There's no reason why it shouldn't be 100%. It's not even that strong a move. So in comes the Ogerpon. It's like, all right, well, I've got Terra Blast here. They've got one other Pokemon which they can't bring in, you know, being a 4 times weak to water. And of course, Ogerpon lives there and goes for a Grass Knot and faints me. I'm like, come on. So that special attack boost, or like one of them, if one of them landed and boosted, I would have won, because their last Pokemon was what's the steam engine Pokemon? The steam, you know, the coal Pokemon, Colossal. It was Colossal as their last Pokemon. Anyway, it is what it is, people. That's Pokemon for you. You can do all the best plays and still take the L. All right, let's get on to our next battle here. We got another battle here. If you guys were to translate the trainers' names, that would be absolutely awesome. I always appreciate those who do that. So we got a Miraidon lead here. I've never seen that in my life. This is a unrestricted battle too. As you can see, the levels are 100. So they're going to go for Electro Drift, even with it resisting it. Miraidon is going to be, it's just so powerful, right? So it's going to take me down to 1 health, which is excellent. So now I can go for Endeavor, and I can follow up with a quick attack here. So a nice little start to the battle, getting rid of Miraidon. Because Miraidon actually was a pretty good counter for my team. There wasn't a lot I could hit it with that, even neutral, you know, maybe high horsepower. That was about it. So in comes the Urshifu here, and I outspeed it with the Endeavor. They got that, they got them 0 IVs and Brave Nature, and that's the end of Blitzle. But I got it down to 1 HP, which is really, really good. So then I brought in my next Blitzle here, and Blitzle is going to blitz that, I nearly called it Ursaring there, Urshifu. They're very similar, you know. Next Pokemon's Garchomp. I was like, oh, this is good. I can get rid of this. This is a great counter. This is also has Shockwave and Flame Charge too. I try to make them sort of like different kind of sets, but with both had Fear. So Garchomp's going to go for Dig, which is fine. It doesn't matter, Dig or Earthquake. It didn't really matter. I still had a good counter for it. So they're going to use Dig and outspeed me, which is good. I mean, they should outspeed me. And I've got that Focus Sash, and then I've got that Endeavor and Quick Attack combination. So I can take the Garchomp out. Even if they did swap here, I was thinking, well, Zebstrika can outspeed and finish them. The problem was, you know, Garchomp being a ground type, and it was very, very hard to one-shot as well. Like, Zebstrika just doesn't pack a very powerful hit. Next Pokemon is going to be Keldeo. We got that Brave Nature. Here comes Retaliate, and Blitzle is going to faint there. But effectively, Blitzle took out nearly 4 Pokemon. When you think, that was actually really impressive when you think about it. Yeah, 4 Pokemon. So we're going to bring in Zebstrika. I'm hoping this time I can get a special attack boost on the 1 HP, and of course I didn't. So that's really good there. I was really happy about that happening. So we've got 2 left, 2 more Pokemon. Our next Pokemon is going to be Lunala. So I'm going to go for Charge Beams here to see if I can boost its special attack. And I actually got one, which is really cool. Now the chances to boost special attack on Charge Beam are 70%. I don't know why it's not 100. It's not like, you know, it's not like it's Meteor Beam. I mean, I guess Meteor Beam is a 2-hit turn, but that's a 2-hit thing. But you could, I don't know. I still feel it's not overpowered, or like not, who uses Charge Beam really, like hyper competitively. Like not many Pokemon really even use Charge Beam at all. It's more of a gimmicky move, you know. I think it would get more use if it was 100% boost, but still, there's still other like better options, you know. Like for example, you could have, if a Pokemon had Calm Mind, well, you'd probably just go for Calm Mind. Anyway, so that's the end of Lunala there. In comes Rayquaza and outspeeds me. I was like, oh no, this is bad. And Zebstrika, I think that's Choice Scarf, and that took out my my Zebstrika. So I'm like, all right, I've got to go for the Terra here, and I've got to be able to take this Rayquaza out, you know. This is my physical set, and I thought if I go for Terra Water, I can absolutely do some good damage here for sure. It should be like a 2-hit game. So I outspeed this time. Great damage. I think, no, that was a critical hit. That must have been cut. That definitely was a critical hit. And Rayquaza then goes for an Earthquake. It doesn't do a lot. I think this is the bulky Rayquaza, but it's very fast though. I don't know what the EVs were on this at all. Then they're going to go for a Terra Dragon. I'm like, oh no, please don't lose the speed type. And I didn't. So that is going to be the end of the Rayquaza. My cheeks were clenched there. I thought I was going to get outsped. And, oh, that's the end of the battle too. What a crazy close battle there. Thank you to my random opponent for the battle. And let's get on to the next one. They got that shiny Deoxys. All right, this is battle number 4 here. Today we got 7 battles with this team. This video might be a little bit shorter as well because I did have some other battles, but unfortunately they got corrupted, so which sucks. So I think I had like another 2 in there, but these are the ones I was happy with. And you know, this team had already sort of dragged out quite a long time. I mean, you know, getting the the teams done. So I've got some brand new teams ready to go tomorrow. So I wanted to sort of have I usually have a date where I kind of finish off all my teams. So it's a little bit shorter. I do apologize for that, but I did actually lose a bit of footage there, sadly. Anyway, we got a King Toilet lead here, and I'm gonna try and boost my speed here and then go for Endeavor. That was the plan anyway, because you know it's quite a slow poker one. Now, I was thinking a little bit here about Sucker Punch, but I thought, well, what am I going to do here? It's going to probably counter both of them. So I'll go for it and see if it does have it, which it didn't. So that was good. They're going to go for that Kotow Cleave there and take out my Blitzle. It is on 1 health, which is really cool. So now I can send a Blitzle. At least I thought I could send a Blitzle. It had a leftover. So I'm like, oh, no, that's bad, right? Because Quick Attack won't kill. It won't. I know that it'll live. So I brought in Zebstrika. We need to take this out. So I thought I might go for Charge Beam here. Hopefully I don't miss, and hopefully I get a boost. But at worst case scenario, I land and I don't get a boost. That would be good. If best case scenario, I get a boost like that. You know, that's how it should be, right? And also, Charge Beam isn't 100% accurate either. It's 90% accurate. That's why it's such a terrible move for. It should be 100% accurate. And it should have a 100% chance of boosting. I don't even think that's like, tell me your thoughts on Charge Beam. I don't even think that's broken at all. It's not broken. 100%, and it's only got 50 base power, and it's got a 100% chance of boosting special attack. I reckon that's how it should be. I don't know. It's one of those weird moves. In comes Garchomp here. This is actually a very difficult Pokemon to deal with, as you know. I can outspeed it, but the problem is, I was thinking I'm going to have to go for Terra Water. I think Terra Blast Water should be a 2-hit KO, hopefully. Unless it's one of those weird, like, Assault Vest variants or, you know, bulky variants and stuff like that. So we're going to go for Terra Blast here. I'm hoping this is going to take it out in 2 shots, and it only just is very close. Here comes the obvious Earthquake on Zebstrika, and I only just lived that. Very, very close. I kind of would have liked to have the physical one and then had, you know, the Leechy Berry activated there, but, you know, that's how it is. So I thought about this for a bit, like, well, there's nothing I could do here. If I don't take it out, I suppose I could swap in my Blitzle, but then it might have rough skin when I go for Quick Attack. So I was like, I really hope this takes it out because I'm going to struggle a lot. You know, there's some really strong Pokemon here. So I went for Terra Blast and Garchomp's down. I'm like, yes, thank goodness. Like, that's a big counter to my team. So 2 strong Pokemon down. I'm feeling good about this. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Miraidon. I'm like, oh, okay. So there's not a lot. I'm going to show you how much damage I'm going to be able to do to the right. This is pretty funny. So I had a feeling they may go for an electric type move here and be baited for a lightning rod. That's why I did that. So I'm going to show you Thunderbolt's damage, right? That's Thunderbolt's damage. Like, look at that damage. Remember it. Then they went for a Parabolic Charge. So I got a special attack rise there. So now I want to show you the difference. Let's go for Terra Blast Water for example. There's nothing I can do here. I was completely countered. So this was Terra Blast Water, right? So that did a little bit more, but I reckon they would have done around the same because if you take into effect that special attack boost, in fact, I think it might have done less than Thunderbolt. So there you go. I got hard countered. Possibly I could have swapped out there, but what was I going to swap into? You know, I have to conserve the Blitzle, you know, that's my only hope. So we're going to go into Blitzle number 2 here. We've got that Endeavor, we got that Quick Attack, we got them W's. Thank goodness Draco Meteor didn't miss there. That can, you know, also be a problematic thing too. And then the opponent starts to get, you know, they start to get a bit wise, and then they might try and play around Endeavor by using a weaker move or something like that. But anyway, it worked out perfectly. Miraidon is down, so good stuff there. Unfortunately, I couldn't really make use of my Lightning Rod as well as I wanted to on Zebstrika. Next Pokemon is Ursaluna Blood Moon, and I've got a nice little outspeed here, so that was great. That was really, really good. I'll be honest, if they didn't send that in against my Blitzle, I don't think I could have actually beaten that, because I'd already used up my Terror as well, so that was excellent. So the Electric Trainer's now gone. I'm going to bring in the physical Zebstrika. And I thought, well, I may as well go for Trailblaze here, because they've actually got a Flutter main on their team. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to need that. It's a very fast Pokemon, plus if they got booster energy, I'm going to need that. So that's going to be a good thing to go for. Unfortunately with Zebstrika as well, thinking about buffing Zebstrika and stuff, it doesn't have any moves to boost it. It's not like it's got a Sword Dance or a Nasty Plot. I mean, I'll be fair, Nasty Plot doesn't really make sense, but Sword Dance could make sense on it. Or something, or maybe Bulk Up or something like that. Anyway, in comes Flutter Mane. I get a good amount of damage there with a raw Supercell Slam, and then the Flutter Mane actually hits me with Moonblast and puts me in my Lychee Berry range. I'm like, oh, this is really, really good, right? So I got a +1 in attack there. Now I've got Trailblaze again. I'm just going to go for that because, you know, it may as well just get some more speed, boost, and I know that Flutter Mane is not going to live that. It's not bulky in defense. So Flutter Mane's down. This is going absolutely excellent. It gets a meta team. Next Pokemon here we got is going to be Ogerpon, Half Flame. So another Ogerpon. I was like, I don't know what. I'm going to go for high horsepower. I guess that's the best I can kind of go for. Actually, I don't know if they've Terra'd yet. Actually, I was hoping they'd go for the Terror. I really was, because I thought if they go... Wait, I don't think they... Yeah, at this point, I was like, yeah, they're going to go for Terror, so I'll go for high horsepower. But they didn't go for it. I was like, oh, please go for a grass move. Please go for a grass move. And they did not. I think if they went for a, like, Horn Leech or something like that, I think they would have rage quit. But that was a very close battle against a very competitive team there. They barely won there. They barely won. I think if I got more use out of my Lightning Rod Mon, I might have won that one. Anyway, let's get on to battle number 5 here. This is the battle against Kottmeistern, and of course we've got these Diglets again. So let me give you the backstory here. This is actually we actually matched up randomly too, which is really, really funny. So we got a Diglett Alola lead here. So we had a team like this the other day, like people roasting me saying like Diglett was my hair and stuff. But I was doing this search during my Nuzlocke. I was doing a search to find all the Diglett Alolas, right? Now, this team was all based around that search, and there's a special Pokemon at the end that kind of, that was sort of like haunting me while I was trying to do this. And I'll explain the story when it does come out. But for now, we got 5 Diglett Alolas and 1 other Pokemon. I wonder if you can guess what it is. So the first Diglett is down. Now, the thing I'm thinking about here is I'm going to have my focus assets really countered by this sand, you know. Also, we had a final game for a Diglett Alola. It's probably the only time it's going to be able to paint a Pokemon because it's got such bad health. And, you know, that took out one of my Pokemon there. But at least 2 Diglets went down to Blitzle. I thought, if each Pokemon can take out like a couple, maybe like, you know, maybe Blitzle can take out 2 or Zebstrika can take out 2, I might have a chance here of winning this, right? So then we got another Diglett called Ben Loves Us, and I'm gonna cook that. We're gonna go for Overheat, and that's another Diglett down. So 3 Diglets down here, which is going very well, I must say. No focus bands, focus sausage, focus. Oh wait, I'm gonna focus. We got a 1-inch sausage. Oh, okay. So we got a Diglett here. I'm gonna go for Overheat, and of course it has a focus sash. So focus sash is gonna allow it to live, and I'd say it's probably got a ground move like Earthquake or Fissure or something like that. And it's gonna go for Earthquake, and that takes out my Zebstrika. So I have to take this out. I absolutely immediately need to faint this. Because it is quite a fast Pokemon too. So thank goodness the sand's gone, and I've got my Blitzle, and I can go for quick attack here and feint it, which is going to be really, really good. And then I can probably use Endeavor on the next Pokemon. So there's 1 more Diglett left, and 1 other Pokemon left as well. So I'll give you a clue. It's a Pokemon that can sort of be around you while you're hunting for the Diglets. It's in Sword and Shield DLC. Next Pokemon is Diglett again. I know this surprised you. I've got Flame Charge and Endeavor. But instead, it used Sandstorm again. Now, I know for a fact these definitely have Sand Veil and Bright Power. I know one of them at least has that, so I was a little bit worried there that I might miss. So, it's going to go for Sand Tomb here. Sand Tomb does a lot of damage to me and it also traps me in too. Not that I was really expecting to swap out. So I went for Flame Charge there. Diglett just hangs on, only by a little bit of health there. I don't know whether this has got max health or not, but it was a pretty impressive live. I'm going to take some Sandstorm damage and Sand Tomb damage. Now, I've got Quick Attack left. I was like, I hope that I land this, though. And I did. So, Diglett is going to faint. Apparently, a Mud Slap was coming my way there. So, I'm very glad that I dodged that. It would have been very salty. Last Pokemon is going to be Moltres Galar called Trauma. Now, why I was hunting for these Diglets, right? This Moltres would continually bump into me because I had a low-level team, and then it would start team-wiping me because I was doing a Nuzlocke, so I had to run away with it. At one stage, I think it wiped my team two or three times, and then I get Pokemon that can outspeed it, and then they die, and then suddenly I'll be trapped in a battle again. It was a living nightmare, and then eventually I caught it, and the trauma was gone. All right, my last Pokemon is Zebstrika. This is the physical one, so I thought, ooh, I can use high horsepower. Now, I'm not 100% sure what other moves this is gonna have here, so I thought if I go high horsepower first turn and see how much damage it does. And the good thing about it, it actually didn't give away a Berserk boost at all, because if it did, that would have been very, very bad. So it's got leftovers as well. I know where they're going to try. They're trying to get another Berserk boost. I guess that's a strat. And I guess you can do it with Citrus Berry as well. So I thought this turn I'm going to go for a Terra Water, because they might go for a different type of move here than Ancient Power. So I thought it might be a good thing if I go for a different type. So I went for that Terra Water there. I thought that high horsepower was still my best thing to go for, and I was hoping I could live this attack and then finish them off. It's going to just live there, and I'm going to give it a Berserk. So I know it's got Ancient Power, and then it's got Fire Rush, so it's exactly, I guess it's like the same moveset that was in the DLC, and that's easily going to fate my Zebstrika. It's fated, and that is the end of the battle there too. I guess it's kind of appropriate, because it team wiped me with Fire Rush like a million times. I think the other moves were probably like, what does it have in base game? Nasty Plot and Sucker Punch, I think. Next battle here, let's do it. I just need to take a sip. Okay, we have a battle against Bob, and this is a 4v4 battle. I believe this one was done on my stream as well. Also, there is a battle stream tomorrow too, where I go and battle my viewers and randoms and stuff like that. So, be there or be square kind of thing. All right, so we got a Greedent lead. This Greedent is going to be setting up curses. So it's going to be very, very bulky, extremely bulky. Now, this Pokemon has good overall health. And with stuff like curses stuff, you can make it have like some really tanky, like it does. I think it gets amnesia as well, so it has some very, very nice bulkiness to it, and it can actually have a good attack stat too after some boost. So it's got +2 in attack and it's got +2 in defense. Now it can, I know that it can get body press because I've run one of them myself. With its cool little signature move. So I went for the Shockwave, and I got some good damage, and it's going to stuff its cheeks, right? So that's going to give it a +2 in special defense, and it had an Apricot Berry, which gave it a +1 in special defense. So it's tanky all over. So I thought, I'll just keep going for Shockwave here, get as much damage as possible. Obviously, I do have a way to take this out, which is going to be very, very good. So it's got that body press. That had like +4, which is crazy. I think I did like a Greedent that was Terra fighting with stuffed cheeks and Ganlon Berry, I believe. It was super cool. Anyway, that is the end of Blitzle. I did get the Endeavor off, which is going to allow me to feint it with Quick Attack too. Now, I don't think there's any point. There wasn't any point in them swapping a Greedent out on 1 health, especially after they had all their boosts and stuff like that. So that is the end of the Greedent. Now, before anyone does ask too, I have done a Cheek Pouch ability team before. So if you like the Cheek Pouch ability, I have done that. You could check it out. I believe I did that in... I think I did that in Sword and Shield. I know it was kind of recent. It's either in Sword and Shield or I did it in Scarlet and Violet. One of those 2 generations. So out comes the Scrafty here. It's called the Sag. Well, I guess the pants are sagging. And it had a mirror herb on my Flame Charge. So I was like, that's bad. because that's going to Dragon Dance up as well. So I'm like, uh-oh. So I went for the Flame Charge here to try and increase my speed. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone for Endeavor, but I didn't know if they were going to try and out-predict me with keep going for like Dragon Dance and stuff. So I went for a speed boost there. And then I could go for Endeavor afterwards. That was the plan anyway. I had Thunder Wave, but I wasn't really sure at this point whether it was going to be Moxie or Shedskin. I was leaning towards Moxie, though. That's what most of those Dragon Dance sets are. And it is a very good Pokemon as well, because, Drain Punch and Dragon Dance with Moxie is crazy, right? So that's the end of the Blitzle. And the Scrafty is going to get its little Moxie boost too, which is very scary. So we're going to bring in Zebstrika. Zebstrika is a very, very fast Pokemon. So I was like, I hope this can outspeed. I'm hoping, right? I've got max speed, I've got Jolly Nature, and I do outspeed. So that is the end of the Sag. It actually has a good shiny. It's got that light green and yellow. It actually kind of works. Next Pokemon is going to be Tauros, the Water Tauros. And this is actually pretty good because I've got Supercell Slam and I've got Terra Water. I thought Terra Water might be a good idea. Then I changed my mind. I was like, I'll swap my Zebstrika and try something else because I do have an idea here. So I went into the other one. Now we're going to have a Terra. So is it going to use like Raging Bull or whatever like that? I guess. I wasn't 100% sure there. So it's going to be a Terra Steel, which is actually pretty good because I brought in my special one and that has Overheat. So I thought that's a good idea, to go for there. So Raging Ball hits really, really hard. I do manage to live, which is really cool. And I thought I'll go for Overheat. I mean, I've got nothing to lose, right? This should do really good damage. And it did. It took it out of one shot. So that was excellent. I guess that was... I was a bit lucky there that they were Terra Steel. I will admit that I wasn't expecting Terra Steel or anything like that. That's the end of the Tauros. We've got one more Pokemon left, and it's Golden Nugget, which is a Golem. I was like, oh, this is... Now, I knew they had this, but I figured they didn't want to use it early. I guess they wanted to use it when they knew they were in a position to probably, feint the rest of my team. I'm going to go for Terra Blast here because I've got nothing to go for. I'm going to break it sturdy, and now they're going to go for Rock Polish. So I thought, okay. I was a little bit worried as well about weakness policy too. So I didn't want to activate any weakness policies, and if it had rock, obviously it had rock polish too. So that's the end of the Zebstrika. We're going to bring in Zebstrika number 2 here. I'm going to go for the Terra. Now I know that I get outspeed here, but I thought I'll be able to live the Earthquake with Terra Water, and I can just finish it off with the Terra Blast Water. That'll be absolutely fine, right? That's going to be a good idea. But the Golem used Explosion, it said. Wait, did they go for a Terra this battle? I don't think they did. I don't actually think they did. I mean, it probably was, let's be real, it was probably a Terra Normal Golem anyway. So that is the end of the Golem, and that's also the end of Zebstrika. It was a massive explosion, and both Pokemon, they both fainted. Thank you, Bob, for the battle. Let's go on to our last battle. This is a battle against Legion, and we also have another 4v4 battle. Now, this team here was actually a very, very difficult team to run. This would be a harder team to run than Blitzle one. Maybe. I mean, I guess Slugma does have a couple of ways of boosting against that. So it's a Slugma evolution team versus a Blitzle evolution team here. So the Slugma is definitely going to be a bulky set, and it's going to be setting up. Curse. Sriracha. Is that something to do with, like, I don't know, a volcano or something like that? I think it is. Or something very, very hot. Anyway, we're going to go for a Shockwave here, and that's some good damage. I'm liking that damage. Now, this obviously was designed... Holy smokes, that did a lot of damage. This obviously was designed to kind of, like, paralyze. And I was going to go for an Endeavor there, but I thought I'd go for Shockwave to try and feint it. But it didn't work. I tried. So that's the end of Blitzle, which is not too bad. Which is not too bad because we can always bring in Zebstrika and get rid of the Slugma. This is a team I have not done either. Now that I think about it, I've never done a Slugma evolution team. I know that I've done so many evolution teams, but I've actually done 3/4 of every evolution team available. I believe, or very, very close to that. Alright, next Pokemon is Macargo, and it's very appropriately named too. We're Macargo. So one time, right, I was walking out of the shopping center. I know I've told the story before. I was walking out of the shopping center at nighttime, and I looked left and I looked right, and I'm like, where'd my car go? So I pressed my key button thing, and I was looking around because the car park was full as. I was looking around right for my car because I was looking for flashing lights. You know, when you press your door thing. I'm looking around for ages and I couldn't find it. It was absolutely unbelievable. And then eventually, after, you know, trying to open 3,000 people's cars, I found it, you know, so it was good. There was even a person there, like, unlocking their doors and stuff too, so they were, like, tricking me and stuff. I was getting really salty because I couldn't find it. Anyway, that's the end of the Makago after a shell smash, which is rough. It does get shell smashed, but like Torkoal, it's very, very slow. It's one of those slow shell smashing Pokemon. So next Pokemon is Slugma Balls, and it's got a Fire Art shiny, and it's going to be trying to get some damage there with the Flamethrower. Zebstrika is brutally sweeping through this team at the moment, you know, with Thunderbolt. So their last Pokemon is going to be Makago, taking some more burn damage there as well. Now, we got. I think Makago is like the hottest Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's like the temperature of the sun and stuff like that. So we got another Shell Smash here on the Makago. Now they must have a Terra, and I was wondering what Terra it actually would be. You know, a good Terra to run on Makago would be Terra Water, but I thought, oh, that'd be terrible if it was Terra Water. So they've got a White Herb, which is going to at least get rid of their defensive, special defensive drops there. It's like, all right, they're going for Terra. It must not be Terra Water. It must not be. Or they're going to hope for an outspeed, which didn't happen last time. It's going to be Terra Grass. That was probably the best Terra as well, suited for this team. I guess Grass and Water will be good. So Thunderbolt's going to get resisted. So that was nice. And they went for our Ancient Power here. That Ancient Power, I guess they hope to get a special attack boost there, and then, or like an Omni boost to outspeed my next Pokemon. But the next Pokemon here is going to be Blitzle. Here comes the Fire Mist, and that lands. Blitzle is going to live on health. There is no burn or anything like that. That would have been bad if there was, because I went for Flame Charge, and that is the end of the Fiery Grassy Snail. I hope you guys enjoyed the Blitzle Evolution team. I'll be back with some new teams in the next couple of days. I got some moveset guides coming up and stuff as well. All right, peace out, everyone.